According to legendary director David Lean, Steven Spielberg makes movies to entertain his teenage self. And it's a formula that's proved gold for the most successful filmmaker of all time. Spielberg made his first films as a child on an 8mm camera and quickly graduated to directing TV series for Universal. He hit pay dirt with Jaws. As well as being a huge commercial success, it won 3 Oscars. Close Encounters of the Third Kind featured Spielberg's fascination with the unknown. It was inspired by a 140-minute film he made as a 16-year-old. The cast included François Truffaut, the famous French director and one of Spielberg's idols. However, Spielberg was so intimidated by working with the great man that he could not bring himself to direct Truffaut and let takes go through that would normally have been reshot. Close Encounters was made with state-of-the-art special effects. The primary special effects model of the alien mothership is now on display at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. Raiders of the Lost Ark was a rollicking return to the serials of the 1930s and 40s. Born from a concept created by George Lucas, Spielberg considered the movie a James Bond film without the hardware. It premiered in 1981 and became the year's highest-grossing film, earning $384 million from a $20 million budget. 3 sequels and a television series followed, each equally successful. In the year following Raiders, Spielberg directed E.T., the Extra-Terrestrial, considered by many to be the greatest sci-fi film of all time. The endearing alien was based on an imaginary friend Spielberg invented in childhood to help him cope with his parents' divorce. While not every film he worked on was a success, Spielberg's eye for a good story saw him involved in both the Back to the Future and Jurassic Park franchises, 2 of Hollywood's biggest box office draws. But he also demonstrated a serious side, winning acclaim for dramas The Color Purple and Empire of the Sun. These films laid the ground for Schindler's List. Spielberg, who is Jewish, had been waiting a decade to film Thomas Keneally's novel about Oskar Schindler, the German industrialist who saved more than 1,000 Jews during the Holocaust. The sobering subject matter seemed out of place in a Spielberg epic, and even Spielberg himself was apprehensive as to whether he could do it justice. But the story he brought to the screen was a restrained, elegate lament for man's inhumanity, touched with hope for the future. He refused to take a director's salary for the film, calling it blood money.
My goodness, Stephen made a very truthful film, because for the reverberations to be this powerful 10, 11 years later and on into the future is something that I'm hugely privileged to be a part of.
I was so, involved in filmmaking all my life that I never really had a cause, so to speak, that I could believe in and support and devote so much of my life to. And when this came along, that's when I say it changed my life. I found my soul.
Schindler's List won Best Picture and Best Director at the 1993 Academy Awards and led Spielberg to found the Shoah Foundation, an organization dedicated to collecting the stories of Holocaust survivors and fighting intolerance. But Spielberg still enjoys making action blockbusters.
The thing is, whenever I'm asked, is there a message I want to get across when I make a movie, I always hesitate to give the definitive message, because that would stop all of you from having your own opinions. And, every one of you who sees War of the Worlds, it'll be a unique experience. And every one of you might see something differently in it than even I saw making it. So I'd like to leave it to you to decide what you feel, how you feel, and what you think.